Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Max here with Cattle Hunting, and I got some more junk silver today, guys. Look at this beautiful bag of mixed junk silver. Went for my weekly visit to my favorite scrap metal dealers today, and I was hoping they have quite a lot of coins for me to buy today because I was willing to spend a little bit more than usual. Usually I am not trying to spend more than maybe 200 Canadian in one visit like this, but today I spent $300 on this bag. Yeah, I got pretty fortunate because he had much more coins than he usually had. I could have spent much more, so I had to be a little bit selective. So I want to talk about this a little bit today too, how I pick out my junk silver coins if there is more than I want to buy. And I also want to talk a little bit about silver spot. Silver spot is still hovering around 25 USD right now, or 32 Canadian. And I think it has been fluctuating up and down a few dollars for the last few weeks and couple of months, but it seems to be the new like fixed point is this $25 mark. And I find this quite surprising. In my opinion, it's this time for the first time that actually the bullion and the investor demand is driving the silver price, which is a very unusual thing. Usually silver is driven by the industrial demand, and I think that in that department things will change pretty soon. I'm very sure the industrial demand will pick up again once the pandemic is over, and especially with the new administration in the US, who is more tending into the direction of green energy. I think we might see an uptick in silver price just due to industrial demand. As you guys know, 70%, or in usual years, or even 75% of the silver that's used is getting used in the industrial demand, mainly solar panels, cell phones, computers, most electrical devices. For example, each cell phone has, I think, 0.3 grams of silver in it, which does not sound that much, but with the amount of cell phones that are getting built, that is actually a significant amount. But if you look at solar panels, there's actually 2/3 of an ounce, or 20 grams of silver, pure silver, per solar panel. So that is quite a large amount of silver, and with the solar industry picking up and expecting a huge growth in the next decades, this could be one of the driving forces of silver demand. In 2015, already 7% of all silver used worldwide was used in the photovoltaic industry, which is a huge amount. But before I continue talking too much about spot, yeah, the summary is I wanted to buy a bit more because I have the feeling that we will see a little increase in the next coming weeks. So I wanted to jump ahead and buy a little bit more, and my dealer had a lot of coins. So let's get it out of the bag, see what we have here. So this is a beautiful mix. We got some US, some Canadian, and some European silver coins. So let's see what we have. I know I bought 3 Canadian silver dollars. 1, 2, 3 here. Beautiful ones. And with the silver dollars, he had quite a lot of them. And I really like to pick up everything that's pre-1960. The mintages are so much lower. And if you, for example, look at eBay finished listings, you will see that if 1957 or 1952 will definitely net you $5 to $6 more than, for example, in 1965. Even though they are both considered scrap metal coins, if you are ever going through the effort to actually sell them out on eBay or wherever you like to sell them out, you can get more money for those coins than for other ones. So that's how I am selective. I'm trying to pick the dollar coins that are less common years out of the junk silver to maximize my value. What else do we got here? We got some US. I'm pretty sure I got 5 US half dollars if I remember right. Paid $20 each for the Canadian silver dollars, which is a tiny notch over spot. Overall, I have paid $300 for this. It's 9.2 ounces, so we're very close to spot, maybe 1% over, but it is basically spot value what I paid for those coins, and that's very nice if I can be selective. We got 5 US half dollars here. We got 2 Walking Liberties and 3 Franklins. Got a 1957 here. Got a 1954 here. We got a 1949 here, if I remember right. Yep, 1949 Franklin. And then we have 2 Working Liberties. One is a 1945 This is the 45, and then this is the 1942. Again, I love picking up US silver. I took everything here that was 90% and not a 64 Kennedy because I have quite a lot of those, and those are very, very common. So I prefer picking up Canadian half dollars because, in my opinion, they have a little bit more of a premium than US, at least 64 Kennedys. It's a different story with Walkers or Franklins. They're definitely more premium. So again, it's all about like picking out stuff, cherry picking a little bit. I got a total of 11 Canadian half dollars. Let's see if we find all 11 here. Canadian half dollars are probably my favorite thing to stack. I love the design. I love that you can get them very often for a very decent price here in Canada, and on eBay they very often sell for a premium. So what I do with the Canadian half dollars is that I mainly try to go for the King George half dollars unless it is lower mintage young head years. For example, the 1956, 55, 57, they're all better years. For example, here we have the 1956 young head, and even though that's a young head, it is definitely better than any of the George heads here because it's a lower mintage. There was no key dates there, so I mainly have George heads from the 40s. We have a 43 here, 44. Let's see what this is. 1943. So I took all the better condition ones, but there was a lot of half dollars to buy there. I paid $9.50 per half dollar, which is exactly spot, so that's great. So I was very, very happy with that. There's one more here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, it was 11. Yeah, $9.50 per half dollar, which I think is a much better price than you get online or in any coin store. And again, that's something I want to put the most attention on, is that if you buy stuff at scrap metal dealers privately, stuff like this, you will definitely get a much better price than anywhere online. Often people tell me that, oh, I found this on eBay and this was so cheap, and people are often deceiving themselves. You know, they buy the coin for $18 and then they have $5 shipping and tell me they bought the coin for $18 where they actually bought it for $23 because the shipping is obviously part of the cost. So in my opinion, and I'm pretty active on eBay and on most bigger bullion sites, the prices online are way higher than the prices in person. Most of the time, the prices online are definitely higher than if you go to your local coin store. At least if it's a bigger coin store. And I personally, unless you have a huge budget where you can buy, or you really like the comfort, I personally would advise against buying too many coins online. I think you are doing your stack and the average price of your stack a huge favor if you're going out there and you're looking for deals rather than just buying online. Even though, of course, sometimes there's good deals, but to be honest, there's not so many good deals out there, and eBay is extremely difficult in North America because of the high shipping cost. So I am also not a fan of that, and I'm not saying that you won't ever find any good deals there and that it is always wrong. It always depends on your personal situation, but if you have a limited budget that I have, it is definitely much better to buy privately in person from scrap metal dealers. So that's what I usually do, and just because many people ask me how the scrap metal dealers do it here, is basically they are happy as long as you pay them more than the refinery sells them. So how I deal usually with my dealers here is they check out what they get for the coins in the refinery, and then I will offer slightly more than that, and they are happy. So for example, the price on those was $9 a piece. He would have gotten in the refinery for those, so I offered $9.50 and he's happy. He wanted 20 each instead of 19 each for the Canadian silver dollars because he says that they are much easier to buy, but it is definitely a big advantage. Let's go on here. We have 6 Canadian quarters. I love picking up some smaller coins, nothing special here. We have 1 George heads and everything else are young heads, but I love the size of quarters and having a few smaller coins as well. I also see them selling for more than a half dollar, at least per face value, very often online, which I find weird. But yeah, still very beautiful coins here. Just Canadian 80% silver quarters, 1 George head, 5 young heads. And then we have some international silver. I'm super happy about these guys here. This is, some of my favorite coins to stack is the Swiss coins. The 83.5% silver, so very high silver content. Switzerland is a smaller country, so they all don't have the largest mint numbers, and they have an absolutely beautiful design. I just love the size. They're basically quarter sized. If you guys can see here, the quarter is like a tiny, tiny, tiny bit bigger. So not much bigger. The melt value on those is probably 350 US, 450 Canadian. I paid 450 Canadian per 1 franc and 225 each for those 2 half francs here. And to get those kind of coins for spot in Canada is probably my favorite things. They command definitely higher premiums. If I can choose, I mainly buy the European stuff because I love it, but there's not so much out there. So I bought basically every non-Canadian coin he had today, and this is basically what it was. So there's really not so much. The next thing we have here is a 1 florin 1929 50% British piece. This is actually a better date, but I got it for spot value. Usually I try to not buy too many 50%ers if I have a chance, but I like the variety, and if I can get it for spot, I love buying those kind of collectible coins a little bit more than the common North American junk silver coins, because if you find the right people to trade with, or if you ever want to sell those coins and do it smartly, which means sell them coin by coin online rather than selling your whole collection somewhere else, those things definitely command a premium. If you look at this online and you look at completed eBay listings, I guarantee you you're going to get $4 to $5 for this coin, even though scrap metal value is probably around $2. So there's definitely a lot of upside with the international coins in my opinion, so I really like to pick them up. Let's see what we have here. We have just a boring 1945 S1 nickel here. Always like to pick 1 or 2 up if I get a chance. Then we have a 1921 3-pence piece, King George V. This one is actually sterling, last year of sterling silver. 2 British 6-pence here, 50%ers, 43 and a 31. And then we have this Australian 6-pence, 1942, and I love the Australian coins. They look really, really nice. This one has like the emu and the kangaroo on there. They're like kind of weirdly fighting over the banner. It looks really, really cool. Very beautiful coins. I'm a huge fan, even though it's just a 50%er, but who cares? And this one is just a small South African 3-pence, 50% King George VI. And this one is a 19... What is it? Where's the date on those again? Yeah, it's hidden up there. So 1944. But overall, this is $300 worth of junk silver for spot price. And again, I doubt that you can get deals like this if you buy online right now, if you go to a coin dealer. So definitely the effort pays out to go to those kind of places where you find people like this every week, to go to flea markets, to go to all kinds of markets or yard sales or pawn shops or all kinds of things. There's always places where you can find cheaper silver if you put the work into it, and it's a lot of fun because you always feel like you're getting a good deal. My favorite coins today are for sure the Swiss ones. I love the Swiss 1 franc coins, but I also like the Australian 6-pence piece, and there's nothing wrong ever with getting Canadian half dollars and dollars. I personally prefer the half dollars slightly. I think the Canadian dollars are nice, especially those ones here. This 52 with the George head still has a lot of luster on them. But I think that's it for today, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know what your favorite coins were today, and I hope I can see you next time and show you some more nice silver. Have a good one.